Buried at the military barracks graveyard in Gulu is one of the Lacor Hospital's nursing aides, Christine Lanyero. She died on 13th November 2000 of Ebola from Lacor Hospital. We are told the 35-year-old left a set of twins. 25-year-old Monica Awol, cousin to the hospital's secretary, was one of the very first victims, along with 24-year-old Daniel Ayala, a fellow student nurse who died on 4th October. Monica died 7 days later.
After she died, we took her home in Kidgum. She came from Kidgum town, just a few kilometers from town, about 1.5, and buried her there.
Awol is one of the first 4 who died before the country was declared to have an Ebola outbreak on 15th October 2000. We traced 5 other health workers at a church cemetery, including 27-year-old Florence Kia, 29-year-old Grace Akulo, and 26-year-old Immaculate Awuma, all enrolled nurses. 34-year-old registered nurse Ajok Simon Victor and nursing aide Santina Aliemo, who died at the age of 26. Others who died included 42-year-old nursing aide Margaret Adrupio, 36-year-old registered nurse Helen Ongebo, and a 48-year-old clinical officer Sister Pierina Asienzo. The first to die at eve of the lot was a 20-year-old student nurse, Ajok Christine, on the 30th of September. The only doctor and the last of the health workers to die at the hospital was the medical superintendent, Matthew Rukia, who was buried at Lacor.
We are used to fighting diseases that kill probably the patients, but does not turn and kill fellow workers in big numbers.
But there were survivors. We met Margaret Adrupio in the evening at a workstation at Lacor Hospital. She's welcoming, but we have really come at a bad time when she's busiest. So we watch her work and only talk to her when the line of patients recedes.
First, it was my fellow student who started dying. After she had fallen sick, they were treating as if it was malaria. But later on, the symptoms started. She was bleeding through the orifices.
It's from her blood and that of another patient that the disease got diagnosed as Ebola. Still in school, Margaret did not know she would join the workforce.
The nurses were fearing to work. They wanted it to go away. So from there, our medical soup said people have to volunteer. I was a 3rd year.
She signed up for the task. Margaret worked for 3 straight weeks.
Then the 4th week, one of my colleagues fell very ill.
Simon, a registered nurse, was a supervisor, and as his condition intensified, he became more delirious. He oozed more blood and needed a change of clothes.
He had irritating cough. The cough, just he coughed and droplet came on me. Then to my colleague also. Then my colleague said, Margaret, you stop there.
Ojok was apologetic and worried about their health. He insisted they call him Dr. Matthew Rukia.
We were here standing. Doctor said, how is he? We say, doctor, dress up first. His body off, dress up. Immediately, doctor, in fact, dress up, but he forgot the face mask.
The medical superintendent also got into contact with the spilled infected blood. In the 5th week, Margaret started experiencing some signs of Ebola. First was a rash, which she brushed off until the 2nd week. After that, she got full-blown fever, a headache, joint pain, and malaise.
And I said, what is this? Could it be malaria or what?
She was put on chloroquine, which was still then the wonder malaria drug.
People got scared that, they are moving with Margaret. Margaret must be sick. There's something wrong. And these are the people who are helping us in Ebola unit.
Her fears came to life. She tested positive for Ebola. And being admitted next to Dr. Luquia scared her even more.
So I said, if doctor is becoming unconscious, another target is me. Because we were together.
His death 3 days later made Margaret think of her own.
Then my colleague was also admitted in private 5. Hearing that the lady has passed away, he ran to me. He said, Margaret, you come to my room.
The two were distressed and it took a lot of convincing to calm them down. Margaret did have heavy vaginal bleeding and it had nothing to do with the monthly cycle which had passed. The symptoms got worse. Gradually, some signs like the bleeding and diarrhea stopped. Only the fever persisted, but it too receded and the appetite returned.
They detained me in the ward for more 3 days. Then I was discharged on the 14th of December. Yes, and I was the last positive nurse to be discharged.
She, however, couldn't believe that she was a survivor.
It was not easy. It wasn't easy, for sure. But I thank God for all what He has done for me.
But even when she got better, like most survivors, Margaret was stigmatized until 2 months later when the country was declared Ebola-free on 28 February 2001. 14 years later, every time Margaret looks back, she counts her blessings.
Margaret continues to be a selfless health worker at Lacor Hospital. She tells us that even if Ebola were to come back in any part of the country, she would go and serve. Florence Nalimba, NTV at Lacor Hospital in Gulu District.